everybody, and welcome to another ukulele video. So today we are going to talk about adding strumming patterns to make it more interesting, and we are also going to learn another new chord and a couple of songs to go along with that. So without further ado, let's get going. So when we do strumming patterns, so far what we've been doing is just down strums on the beat. So if we're going to do this on a C, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we count in music, as you know, if you're in grade 5 or 6, we count as 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we need to have eighth notes in there, we count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So typically, all of our down strums, or all of our numbers are going to be down strums. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if we want to do up strums, so strumming upwards, which we can use our finger or the back of our nail for, whichever is more comfortable for you, we do those on the ands. We call them ups, but we do them on the ands. We'd have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Or down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, keeping it on a C, we're going to go down, 2, 3, 4, and then switch to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's really important that when we do this, we make sure that we are keeping the tempo steady. All right, here we go. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the ands fit in between the numbers. The ands are not a replacement of numbers. Just to switch it up, let's go to an A minor chord. There are lots of different strumming patterns that you can do on ukulele, but my favorite strumming pattern, actually I'll show you a typical one first. A typical strumming pattern, we have 1, 2 and 4 and. 1, 2 and 4 and. All right, or down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. In order to get for between those two ups, I have to go down, down, and then when I go up, my hand's going to come back down as if it's going down on the 3, but it's not going to actually make contact so that it can go on the up again on the end of 3. Down, down, up, down, up. Okay, watch that again closely. Down, down, up, down, up. All right. That's a very typical ukulele strumming pattern, and if you only ever use that strumming pattern on ukulele, it will fit pretty much every song you play. My favorite is a little bit different. I like to do it's just a little bit different. Down, down, down. It's also the strumming pattern that Ben Stroy uses in Riptide. Maybe that has something to do with it. All right. So now that we know some strumming patterns, let's look back at one of the songs that we learned last week, which was Counting Stars, One Republic. So it's not very interesting to go, lately I've been losing sleep, wondering about the things that we could be. Well, you might want to start with that or have a moment like that in the song where it's nice and emptied out and simple. We can focus on the words. We don't want to do that the whole song. It gets kind of boring. So why don't we try all down strums? So 4 strums per chord. Lately I've been losing sleep, wondering about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard, said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Okay, now let's try it down, up. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, here we go from the beginning. Lately I've been losing sleep, wondering about the things that we could be. Do you hear how that starts to get almost too busy? So that's when we can change up the strumming pattern to something like, for instance, my favorite strumming pattern. Oh, that's not right. And there's an instrumental interlude in this one, so we could make up a new strumming pattern for that. So by having a couple of those moments where we simplify it out, like, oh, but I'm not that old, young, and really putting the emphasis on those words with the chords. Oh, but I'm not that old, young, but I'm not that bold, now I don't think the world is sold. We can mix it up. Something to notice as well when you're strumming is depending where you're strumming on the ukulele, you're going to get louder or quieter sounds. So if you're a quiet singer or you're singing into a microphone like I am, you almost want to strum a little bit more up towards the neck as opposed to right over the sound hole. So here's the difference. I'm just going to play the instrumental interlude, moving where I'm strumming. You guys can hear the difference. And if I practice my chords, I'd be a little bit better at it. So by strumming up here, it's a little bit softer than by strumming down over the sound hole. All right, so now we've talked about that, let's learn a new chord. This new chord is the chord I like to call the steps chord because our fingers are going to sit in a set of steps. Okay, so we have our first finger, first string, second fret, second finger, second string, third fret, third finger, third string, fourth fret. It's another minor chord. I love minor chords. So our minor chord here allows us to start doing some different styles of music. Now that we know two minor chords, we are able to play things in a minor key, which is always fun. So we're not just playing happy music all the time on the ukulele. So let's just practice going from different chords to our E minor. So what we're going to do is 4 counts. We're going to go, for instance, C, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm just doing the other chords randomly. The important thing is we practice to getting from the other chords we already know to E minor. So this would be a great time to let you know that I'm going to put a chord chart for the notes that we know with every video from here on out, so you can reference it back. So if you want to practice getting to that E minor chord, maybe you feel it's a little tricky right now, you can either continue on with the songs and practice the chord progression of the song we're about to do, or pause the video, open up that chord chart that I will post and take a look at that and practice going between all those chords. But here we have our E minor. Now what's cool about our E minor chord, if we look at our standard notation here, is that it's what we call a closed chord, which means that they're all in order. We also play the G twice. Listen carefully. So that's a nice strong G for us, which is great because the G is what actually makes it a minor chord. Because if we were in the key of E major, this would be a G sharp, but we're in the key of E minor, which makes it a G natural. All right, a little bit of standard notation theory there for you. So I thought this would be a fun song to learn. Don't Stop Believing by Journey. The chord progression up here, it changes slightly. So it starts off with these chords that we know, where we have a C, followed by G, followed by A minor, and then F. Hooray, we know those ones. We've been practicing those ones. The second part of the chord progression, though, goes C, starts the same, G, but then we're going to throw that E minor in there, and then F. Now, if you're having trouble with the E minor, but you really want to play Don't Stop Believing, if you play the A minor in its place, it'll still sound okay. It won't be perfect, it won't be totally right, but it'll still sound okay. So while we're learning this chord progression with E minor, we're just going to do one strum per chord. Let's give it a try. Just a small town girl, living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Now this is where we could add some more strumming. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard, the shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Streetlight people. I made a little jump in this song there because I really wanted to get the Don't Stop Believing section. Mix up my melody a little bit. But that's all right. That's how it is. I also know this is kind of an older song. So, of course, play around with this one. Have fun. I will link the full set of chords for you guys in the assignment description here. But I also know that this song, Dance Monkey, is really popular right now. So the chord progression for this one is a little bit different. It's actually a little bit tougher. So this one's definitely harder than Journey. And we go A minor, F, G, E minor. Okay, so this one's a tricky one. Let's do that chord progression again. A minor, F. Now our hand has to completely switch where it's at for G, E minor, and we have to get back to A minor. All right, so let's go through one strum per chord. They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take my hands, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know you stopped me dead as I was passing by. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Ooh, I see you every time. And I like your style. You make me wanna cry. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. And they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh, oh. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, yeah, yeah, yeah. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. They say, and it keeps on going. So same thing, I will link it in there. When I went in the chorus, I added down strums on every beat because that's what the bass drum and the guitar lick do in the original song. So that's the other thing to keep in mind when you are listening and taking a look at different songs to play with your ukulele. Listen to what they do in the song. Now, a lot of it you'll be able to do by hearing it. Riptide is one of those ones where the strumming pattern is really, really clear in our heads, and our hands kind of want to do that rhythm. Same with Dance Monkey. You can really hear it when they start at the beginning. It's actually on a 2/4, so it's, they say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take my hands, my dear, and place them both in mine. With almost a little tap in the middle. The other thing that you should note is if you have been on Solfeggio or solfege.io, which is a program that I've talked about before in Extra Music here, is that this is in a different key. So the guitar version and the version of the chords that they have in solfege.io for Dance Monkey is in a different key than this. The same thing, you can't actually play this part along with the recording of the song because it's in a different key. So don't try to do that with this one because it won't sound right and it'll bother your ear and you won't quite be able to figure out why. It's not that you're getting the chords wrong, it's that it's in two different keys. Which is also why you might feel like you have to sing a little bit lower with the ukulele version here because it is a lower key. All right, that is it for our E minor chord, our new chord this week, and I will see you guys next week with another ukulele video and another chord or two. If you have any requests on songs that you would like to learn in these videos, let me know, put them in the comments, and I'd be happy to take a look at them and see if it's something I can fit in for you guys. I will also be posting an ukulele challenge every week, so you can take a look at those as well. All right, guys, we'll see you all later. Bye.